Hey, what's going on? It's Stokely from Sosondole. Oh, man, I don't like to talk politics because I think I'm a true capitalist. I want everybody's money, because whether I agree with what you believe in or I don't agree with what you believe in, I believe in the things that I believe in. And if you give me money, then I can take that money and advance the things that I believe in, and I can help people with it. So I'd rather not offend people by giving my perspective on anything that's controversial. And if I offend you, please forgive me. I want your money, please. Well, I'm joking, but I'm not joking at all. I wanted to really talk about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his recent he's nominated. Well, he's being recommended. He's being nominated right now. He doesn't have the job yet. Okay, but it's definitely changing the way that other people speak. Now, I did speak about the mothers that protested Kellogg's use of artificial dyes versus the plant-based dyes in the food. That's something that RFK has spoken about, whether before or after Moms Across America spoke about it. So someone bringing attention to these artificial dyes, which I spoke about, some of these artificial dyes are derived from petroleum. Some of these artificial dyes, I didn't speak of this, but some of those artificial dyes are associated with behavioral problems in children. They're not safe, They're not safe. They're safer alternatives, and they're available in Europe, right? So Moms Across America were protesting against those dangerous additives. That's something that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. also speaks about. Now, many people have an issue with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. They believe that he is anti-vaccine. That's not true. If you go back into his videos, or if you watch any of his videos, he is not anti-vaccine. He believes in vaccines. Actually, he does. That we have a lot of vaccines that are non-controversial, that everybody agrees that's good for you, like MMR and polio and whooping cough and polio and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Tetanus. Because you don't want to come down with any one of those conditions. So, which is probably not likely that you're probably going to encounter those things, but it depends on how much activity you have, where you're going, where you're playing. But since you don't know what you're going to be doing for the next, for the developmental years of your child, you know what I mean? You just kind of protect yourself by getting like the tetanus shot so you don't step on a nail. And then the other day I stepped on the blade of a blender. It went right through my shoe and cut my toe. Somebody threw the blender outside. The blade on the inside of the blender fell out. I was carrying a box in my hand and I ended up stepping on the blade of the part that's in the middle of the blender and cutting my foot, and I shouted and I cursed, but hey, it wasn't too bad, thank God. But if that was a rusty blade, it's a possibility I could have got tetanus. Now, polio, I don't know what polio is, but it causes debilitation to the point where I guess you can't walk. Or I think Forrest Gump had polio. I'm not totally sure. If you watch the movie, he had some kind of dystrophy inside of his legs, and I think it was due to polio, but he got over it. But so anyhow, just going back, RFK is not against vaccines, so that's not totally, yeah. So now RFK is also against fluoride in water. Fluoride and chlorine in the water, I've spoken on those things. Fluoride is something that blocks your pineal gland. Fluoride is something that penetrates your bones and weakens your bones. Fluoride is not a major component. It's not even a component of your teeth. Your teeth are made out of phosphorus and calcium. for the most part. Now, what happens with the fluoride? Fluoride penetrates your teeth and provides a protection from the bacteria that creates cavities. So it does have a utility to it, right? But is it something that we want to drink every day? I don't know. You know what I mean? It's in the public water. I drink public water all the time. I make my tea with public water that contains chlorine and fluoride. And as I recommended, one of the good things that helps you fight the chlorine, at least breaks down the chlorine in the water, is ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. Some people say vitamin C in that form is not good. We're not gonna get weirded out trying to explore every single permutation, every single variable. We're not gonna bug ourselves out worrying about every single variable. We gotta take it one step at a time. So right now I believe in vitamin C, right? Right now I'm cool on vitamin C. I'm good with vitamin C. And I'm gonna listen to what the argument is against ascorbic acid as a vitamin C. But I'm still gonna use my vitamin C until I have an understanding and it makes sense to me why I should find an alternative source. Now, plants and fruits are the best source of everything. Plant-based is the best source for everything because it's bioavailable, in my opinion. Especially fresh fruits that are still alive or just recently picked. But I live in the city. I don't have the access to fruits that were just picked today or picked yesterday. And even if I bought the food that was picked today or yesterday, I probably would not eat it today. I would probably eat it a week from now. So, hey, anyhow, we're going to do the best we can do, and we're not going to hurt ourselves, and we're not going to stress ourselves out. So, anyhow, getting back to RFK Jr. now. So, what else is controversial about RFK Jr.? That's really it. People believe that he's anti-vaccine. He's not. He vaccinated his whole family, right? He believes in vaccines. So, but I don't know if he believes, So, anyhow. Now, regarding fluoride in the water, I've heard all kind of stories. I've heard that he dissuaded the government of Guam from having the people have fluoride in their water, and as a result, people got cavities. I'm gonna look into that. If you're interested, you should look into it yourself, because I don't know if I'm probably not gonna follow up on this. Now it's important that we all brush our teeth, right? There's things that we're consuming nowadays that were not part of the indigenous or original human design, right? Like refined sugar, like pure straight up sugar, right? White sugar, even brown sugar. We were getting all our sweets from the plants. We weren't having cubes, crystals of sugar added to anything. We weren't eating added sugars. We were eating sugars, but not processed sugars or added sugars, right? So maybe the people in Guam, maybe they got cavities because they're drinking soda. They go into bed without brushing their teeth, which I do many times. I fall asleep without brushing my teeth, so I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong or they deserve to have cavities. No way. I can never say that. I want to look more into that because I'm not a big proponent of fluoride in everything. Like I said, fluoride is not necessary for your teeth, but it does provide protection by permeating your teeth. But guess what? Fluoride goes into your bones also. So maybe the people who are vulnerable to bone conditions should probably stay away from it. Maybe people who are religiously and properly taking care of their teeth and all this stuff, maybe they don't need the fluoride. Maybe we only need to brush the kids' teeth with fluoride, but that didn't. Listen, man, I know kids that brush their teeth with fluoride twice a day. they still get cavities. So I really can't put my finger on it. But for the most part, it sticks to your bones. It's been confirmed by studies to cause neurological issues in children, even at levels less than the recommended dosage for the water system. So we know that it messes with your brain. It interferes with your brain. Not just us hippies' pineal gland, but it messes with the cognitive abilities of children. So it's not safe, right? So if RFK comes around and says fluoride's no good, I'm for it, and we'll see if there's any checks and balances in the health department or whatever department he's overseeing. And I would hope that there's checks and balances and they actually do research to determine whether it's good or not, instead of just by default believing that it's good. Listen, I was having a uncomfortable discussion on Thanksgiving at the table about fluoride, and I explained, well, you know what? They were giving people were taking and people were being given medicines during the 1930s and the 1940s that were causing women to pass away and causing birth defects. And these things were touted and told to people to be good. I forgot what the thing is called. Let's see if we can find it. Let's look on Google right now. What is the vitamin given to pregnant women in the give me a chance. In the 1940s, that caused deformities. Let's see here. Thalidomide. So let's read. Thalidomide was a drug given to pregnant women in the 1950s, not that long ago, to treat morning sickness. And it caused birth defects in the children of the house of those who took it. The drug caused deformed limbs, defective organs, and other complications. Other side effects of thalidomide include sensorimotor peripheral neuropathy, somnolence, rash, fatigue, and constipation. In 2012, Lynette Rowe, who was born without limbs, led a class action lawsuit against the drugs manufacturer Grünenthal. Rowe was awarded an out-of-court settlement in 2014. The Supreme Court of Victoria endorsed a settlement of 89 million Australian dollars to 107 victims. Okay? So I guess that was in Australia mostly, I guess. Thalidomide. Okay, so there's other things that we're using. There's other things that we've been using. Listen, we started using plastics in the 1950s. Now we're dealing with microplastics everywhere, and the plastics won't degrade. The plastic lasts for 1,000 years. It gets a little more brittle and breaks onto more microparticles to the point where it's in the tissue of the fish. So just because we've been doing things for years doesn't make it right. And that's what I was trying to convey to the people at the Thanksgiving table. Just because we've been doing something for many years doesn't make it right. So, if RFK is going to shake things up and cause us to take a second look at things that we accepted as Bible fact, I welcome it, and I'm interested to see what he can do regarding bringing more awareness and consciousness about what we put into our bodies. Because yes, in our echo chamber of people who care about their health and stuff like that, we think that everybody's aware of it, everybody's thinking about it. No, not everybody's thinking about it, not everybody's aware of it. People, including myself, are still out here drinking Pepsi Cola and Coca-Cola and Fanta and Sprite and Gatorade and Red Bull and energy drinks and all these, and now people are trying to come after protein powders, creatine, all these things, or whatever, I mean, you know what, listen, some things are appropriate for a certain time. Some things are okay once in a while. But, if you look at some documentaries about obesity in Mexico, you understand people drink Coca-Cola like it's water down there, in some areas, according to some hyperbole documentarians. Anyhow, but I just want to say regarding RFK, I don't want to be political about it. I'm nonpartisan. I'm all about what I can get for the most part, because that's what a capitalist believes in. And I don't want to offend anyone. I care about everyone, but I don't necessarily agree with everyone. But I do want to get paid by everybody. If they would like to give me something, I will take their donations. Thank you very much, as I explained in the beginning. So, regarding RFK, it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's anything to worry about. We're still going to have the opportunity to consume fluoridated toothpaste if we want. Maybe it won't be in the water, but they're definitely going to still put chlorine in the water, probably, because we can't allow the bacteria to stay in the water. Now, the fluoride in the water is something else. If you want fluoride, you can get the fluoride toothpaste. But do we need to drink fluoride in the water every day? I don't believe that. I don't believe so. Most of us drink bottled water. Is there fluoride in the bottled water? Not to my knowledge. Right? So if most of us are drinking bottled water and we're not getting cavities, do we really need the fluoride? Anyhow, thanks for listening.